In a quiet village nestled beside a shimmering lake, there lived an old, wise professor named Elliot. Though retired from teaching, villagers often came to him for advice. One sunny afternoon, he invited a group of young people to his garden. On the stone table before them sat a large, empty glass jar. Curious, the group gathered around as Professor Elliot smiled and held up a bag of large pebbles. Without saying a word, he began placing them one by one into the jar until no more could fit. He turned to his audience and asked, "Is the jar full?" They nodded. "Yes, it's full." With a slight grin, Elliot reached under the table and pulled out a bag of small stones. He gently poured them into the jar. The stones settled into the gaps between the large pebbles. He shook the jar slightly to help them settle and then asked again, "Now, is it full?" The group looked at the jar, now heavier and more crowded, but still with room. They hesitated, then said, "Now it's full." But Elliot wasn't done. He picked up a container of sand and slowly poured it into the jar. The fine grains slipped between the stones, filling every crevice. "Is it full now?" he asked. The group laughed. "Yes, definitely now." Elliot finally lifted a jug of water and poured it carefully into the jar, letting it absorb even the smallest remaining spaces. Once the jar was brimming, Elliot sat back and looked at them all. "Let me explain," he said gently. "This jar represents your life. The big pebbles are the most important things. Your family, your health, your values, your dreams. If everything else was lost and only they remained, your life would still be full." He pointed to the smaller stones. "These are the other important aspects: your education, your job, your home. They matter, but they aren't everything." He held up the empty sand container. "The sand? That's the little stuff, the distractions, the noise, social media, petty arguments, what people think of you." Finally, he tapped the jar. "If you fill your jar first with the sand, there's no room for the pebbles or the stones. Focus first on what matters most. The rest will find its place." As the student sat in thoughtful silence, Elliot raised the jar with a smile and said, "Oh, and the water? That just shows there's always room for a little tea with a friend." Moral of the story: prioritize what truly matters in life. If you spend all your time and energy on the small things, you'll never have room for what's truly important. Focus first on your values, your loved ones, and your health. The rest will follow.